Welcome back to CityLine. With me right now, I have Chris Surface. He is the Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Little Theater. Chris, welcome to my master bedroom.
Thank you so much. Welcome to my virtual theater.
Now, I was going to ask you, are you actually in Tacoma Little Theater right now?
It's the magic of Zoom technology that no, I'm not inside the theater. I'm not outside the theater. I'm in my office at home. But I thought this is a better backdrop to be in the theater to let you know that we're still here, we're still in the community, and we are still working hard to make sure that there are things happening for everybody in our community.
You know, leave it to you to take us on a virtual ride through the theater right now. I love that. So speaking of that, how is TLT doing with this stay-at-home order?
It's affected us. I won't lie and say we're all happy and dandy and everything is wonderful, but for the performing arts, it's a tough time where we can't provide the in-person experience that we normally would with people. TLT itself is still operating as normal. All of our staff are still retained. We're luckily in a position where hopefully through assistance with the CARES Act that passed, we're going to be able to keep our staff paid and them to be able to continue working. Karen Christensen, our box office manager, is virtually running the box office from her home office. And all of our phone calls go straight to her there. And she's processing season ticket orders and helping people with questions and changes on tickets. Nate, our education director, is programming and facilitating classes from her home office. And Blake York's designing sets for next season and designing posters for next season from his home office. And then we've got some other great projects for our interns that are doing some self-learning activities online to find out some better skills that they can use.
My goodness, from this moment on, when somebody says, I'm going to work from home at TLT, boy, they mean it.
That's true.
So let's talk about, last time I had you on the comfy couch, we were talking about A Chorus Line. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite musicals. I was so excited that you reached out and grabbed the rights to it and said, yes, it deserves to be on stage in Tacoma. How did this change affect A Chorus Line?
A Chorus Line, we opened on March 6th. It was one of the strongest openings we've had at Tacoma Little Theater that I can remember in my time there, and probably one of the best shows I've seen on stage in Tacoma. And I'm not just saying that because I run the place, but it was one of the finest shows I've seen on stage in Tacoma. And we made it through opening weekend, and we were planning on going on March 13th with the next weekend of shows. And then we had to make that tough decision the morning of March 13th that we could not go on. Morally and ethically, we could not fathom the idea that if little Bobby came and saw the show and got exposed to COVID-19 and then went home and made grandma sick and something happened to grandma, that's something we couldn't live with. And so we made the decision to shutter the show and put it on pause. It's on an indeterminate intermission right now. And so it broke the hearts of a lot of our cast and crew because everybody loved being a part of that show. But we are crossing our fingers. We have everybody's availability. And once we know more, we're going to try and get that on our stage sometime soon again and remount the production to let those people who weren't able to see it have that opportunity.
Oh, good. I love that you used the phrase, it's just an intermission. That's all this is. Chris, speaking about intermissions, how will this affect the rest of the shows this season?
It's interesting because every day is something new. We're in just this situation where things change day by day, and we can't really get a firm grip on what's happening. As we're taping this today, it was announced that Broadway won't be resuming productions until June 7th or possibly later. Ourselves, Terms of Endearment was supposed to open April 24th, but obviously we're at this point until May 4th on our stay-home order, and what happens after that, we don't know. Will it affect physical distancing, public gatherings? What will the status be? So Terms of Endearment is still rehearsing. They're virtual rehearsing once a week right now. Before the stay-home order went into place, they were rehearsing in person. The show is completely staged. The actors were off book by the first rehearsal because they'd had that much lead time. And our goal is to get that show up on its feet as soon as we are able to, based on the government's direction and regulations.
Wow, that is impressive. I mean, theater has always been the mother of improv and invention, but this is unbelievable that you can continue on and all you're missing is to put them in the same stage together. Chris, I got to tip my hat to you. That is very, very impressive.
Thank you. It's been a fun adventure for all of us because we are learning new things. We're learning new technology and the ways we can deal with things. For the rest of the season, Manchurian Candidate, we have put on an indefinite pause right now. Our goal is that with a chorus line, we'll be able to bring that back since we have the set and all the resources for it. Manchurian Candidate hadn't yet auditioned, so there was no resources utilized for that show at this point. And so we'll bring that back sometime in the future. We're still hoping to find a spot to slip that into.
So speaking of Manchurian Candidate, my hope is that it falls into the next season. You being the fabulous artistic director that you are, I bet if I were to crawl inside of your brain, you have season after season after season planned out. How will this affect 2021 season?
So when I was on the Comfy Couch last time, you asked me what the season was, and we had not opened a chorus line yet, so I could not tell you. Now I can tell you what we're doing next season because we do have it selected. We are selling season tickets, and our goal is that on September 12th, we open our doors and we are ready to go with our 102nd season. We open with Bedroom Farce, which is a great comedy, followed by Clue, live on stage based on the movie and board game. For the holiday, it's The Wizard of Oz. And then starting off January 21, we go to A Doll's House Part 2, which is a follow-up that was on Broadway a few years ago to the classic Ibsen tale of A Doll's House. Our big musical is Rock of Ages on stage. Then we're doing a partnership with UW-T, and we're doing a show called Significant Other, which was on Broadway a few years ago, and it's a wonderful show. And then we close out with a beautiful production by Lauren Gunderson called Silent Sky. So the season is planned, and we are ready to do it.
I am just so impressed. And boy, I couldn't think of a better way to kick off September than cross your fingers to have our children back in school and to be back in those brand new seats, which are not showing behind you, but they will be there, I'm assuming.
We are actually, I have a phone call with our general contractor, one of the general contracts we're looking at. The seat manufacturer, I spoke with them earlier this week, and they said everything should still be on schedule. So our fingers are crossed that all this new world order that we're in right now is not affected our remodel at all.
I love that. So I can just hear our parents as they're watching this saying, ask him about summer camp because we've had enough of our coworkers. What about summer camp?
It's still a mystery, and that's because we don't know what physical distancing is going to look like this summer. Usually we have about 50 kids in each summer camp program. Then when you add in the teachers and the parents that come and see the show, you're well up to 300 or more people gathering. So it will really depend on the physical distancing. What we're doing is we've kind of laid out two paths. And right now we've contacted our enrollees and our parents who are interested in it. And we've told them this is what's happening. Either we go on as normal, which this summer we'd be at Stadium High School because the remodel's happening. Or if things change, we're going to look at some virtual options or smaller options where maybe it's not 50 kids in a show, but maybe it's a small 10-person camp that we utilize. And Nana Curley, our education director, she's got her hands full looking at all these different options and having programming ready to go at a moment's notice to make sure that we're able to jump into action when we know what's going to happen.
Oh,
Have no fear. Keep an eye on the education page because there are things that are going to be happening and there are things happening.
Well, I can imagine as I was one of those parents that has my credit card ready to go when you say go. Let's talk about some of the classes that you are known for. How are they being offered now?
We are doing virtual classes. We have right now running elementary, middle school, high school, and adult monologue classes, which still have spots you can register for. We've started up tap dancing classes taught by Melanie Gladstone. And so it's tap virtually, which is a lot of fun. There's a beginner and an intermediate level. We also are looking at doing a production virtually. The show just came out and it's written specifically for a virtual rehearsal and performance period. And we're probably going to have some more information on that in the next few days. So keep your eyes open for that. It's a musical through online technology, much like we're doing right now. And then we're also doing a few other things. We've been doing these fun town hall question and answer sessions once a week. And we usually pick an artist, an actor, and a technician. And we bring them together and open up into a forum where people can ask questions about how they got started in theater, what are their stories that they have from theater, what they do to make themselves a better performer or a better designer, how people can get involved. And we've had a lot of fun with them. On Friday, April 10th, we have one with Judy Cullen. who was the managing artistic director of Tacoma Little Theater before myself, and is a brilliant set designer. And we use the term theatrician, somebody who can do anything in theater amongst the community. So we're really excited to spend 45 minutes with her on the Q&A. And that's via Zoom, which there's information on our website, or Facebook Live. We put it on our Facebook page too, and you can ask questions there and we'll answer them.
You know, when I saw that you were going to showcase Judy Cullen, I thought, oh yes, thank you. She is a wealth of knowledge. She taught me how to paint a line straight down by breathing in and then exhaling as I was trying to paint a set. So she knows everything. So good on you for capturing such a gem as Judy to talk with everybody, because she does do everything.
Yeah, we're excited to have her back. And then right after her Q&A on the April 10th, we're also doing a live improv show with McGraw Zoo at 8 p.m. So they are one of our local improv troupes that we're kind of their resident home, and they do improvised shows based on a single word. So if you'd like to join us at 8 o'clock, Friday, April 10th, that's going to be live on both our Facebook page and Zoom too.
Oh, I love that. Chris, I always end our time together by asking you two questions. The first question I have for you is, how can people help Tacoma Little Theater right now?
Don't forget us. While we may not be presenting things live on stage, there are things out there. If you go to our website, we have two of our previous shows, A Doll's House and Macbeth, are live on our webpage, and you can go online and watch those. Those are public domain materials, so there were no rights restrictions for us on them. So we're very happy to be bringing you that live theater. And we'll have more things coming up too. So just remember us. And as you're thinking about things to do, check out our website. There might be something you can do with your family that's being offered to you.
And I'm going to throw in a plug for buying season tickets, because during this time of social distancing, we are not emotionally distancing from our community. So get those season tickets, because we will get through this together, and then the show must go on, as we always say.
The show must go on, or the show must go online. That's the new catchphrase right now.
Chris, who do we need to thank before I say break a leg to you?
I think the first thing I'd like to thank is my board of directors and my staff for just going with everything that's going on in the world right now, but still being there to support and make sure that our community has us as a resource. And also to thank the people who've reached out to us already. It's so nice to hear from people, particularly when we're only, talking to ourselves most of the time right now, but to get those phone calls or those emails that come through and talk with the community, let them know that we're still here, and even to have those conversations on how are they doing it? How are they doing in their world that we're in right now? So thank you to everybody.
Oh, Chris, and I want to say thank you to you and to your TLT family, and also your personal family. And it is my meditation that you stay healthy, because you are such a vital part of this community, and you continue to bring us greatness in the form of live plays. So please take care of you and yours. And I want you back. Well, this is going to sound funny. I want you back in my bedroom soon.
I'll take that offer.
Well, that wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It is truly a privilege to be in your home. These are unprecedented times that we live in right now, and social distancing does not mean emotional distancing. So please stay home, drink lots of water, wash your hands, and get out in that sunshine in a very safe way. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at CityLine. Please take care of yourself.
Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home. Oh, you're from Seattle. Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you're from Chicago, but Tacoma's where you'll stay. Oh, you're from Seattle. Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you're from Chicago, but Tacoma's where you'll stay, yeah. Tacoma, that's my home, from the fires to the loam. Tacoma, that's my home, yeah. Tacoma.